Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream here on my YouTube channel. It's Laura Volpes here. Hopefully, if you're following this live, you know already. And today I'm going to create a spooky, cute Halloween card with the fox costumes before and after stamp set from the latest Fawn release. I will go through the products that I'll be using today just in a little moment. Just let me real quick pull up the live stream on my phone so that I can see your comments. If you're watching this live, please share it with your friends. I will do the same. I will try and share it on my Facebook page so that, you know, maybe more people will join, because the more the merrier. It's always a lot of fun when I get to chat with you guys live while I create. So let's see. All right, so while I deal with my phone, I'm going to try and do a little bit of multitasking here. And the stamp set that I'm going to use today, as I said, is the fox costumes before and after stamp set, which is really, really adorable. This is from the latest Fawn release, and I'm just so in love with it. I am then going to use the stitched tree borders. This is another die by Fawn, and I'm also going to use the spooky fence border. Then we have the Hefty Doodle Imperial Stitched Rectangle dies. I used the larger die, which is A2 sized, and I did some die cutting off camera. We'll get to that in a moment. I am successful now in setting up my phone so that I can read your comments, so yay for that. Another die set that I'm going to use is this. This is really beautiful, you guys. This is a new to me die set by scrapbook.com. It's a tall and skinny alphabet die set, and you get the lower case as well as the uppercase dies, and I just love the style of this font. And by the way, there is a huge sale on scrapbook.com. Right now there is a fall clearance sale up to 90% off selected items, and there is also a sale on scrapbook.com exclusives, so check out the links in the description box down below if you want. Hi Laura, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, I hope you like to watch the replay. Anyway, these are for the sentiment, are just double-sided adhesive sheets, and then I am most likely going to also use this stencil, also by scrapbook.com, called Little Clouds. So, okay, enough talking, let's get crafting. I can put this aside, and I'm going to start from my background. So, as I said, I did some die cutting off camera, and I have here on my desk some watercolor cardstock by Spectrum Noir, cut to an A2 size, so 4 1/4, or rather 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And then I have two more panels here that I die cut straight out of some black cardstock. I have some spooky trees and this spooky fence. This die set here also has dies that cut the back of the trees so that you can fill them with foliage, but I thought that for a Halloween card it would be more spooky to leave them naked. And then I have my distress oxides here, which I'm going to use for my sky background. But first off, I'm going to do some ink blending on this panel, and I thought it would be fun to basically add a little bit of metallic accent to the fence. Hi Mona, thanks for joining, my friend. So for that I'm going to use Midas ink by Spectrum Noir in the color silver, and I'm also going to use these very useful finger daubers, because then I can be precise when I apply my ink. So hi there, thanks for joining. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dab my finger dauber on the ink pad and tap it on the spooky. Oh wow, this is even more beautiful than I thought, you guys. On my spooky fence, and because the cardstock underneath is black, this almost turns out into those kind of grungy textures. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, you need to try this. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be so cool. Yay, new discovery today. Hopefully you can see a little bit against the light. It's a subtle shine, and again, as I said, because you have this the black cardstock underneath, the effect is really unique. So it's definitely something to try out, and I think it will look cool even with like golden ink. So you have a lot of different types of metallic inks by Spectrum Noir. So okay, so let's see. Let me move on to the sky first, because the idea was to also blend the two panels with a little bit of white pigment ink, but I'm not sure at this point. I want to first see how the sky will turn out, and then I am going to decide what to do with those two panels. So I picked out the colors for my palette today, and I have cracked pistachio, peacock feathers, chipped sapphire, and black soot. I am going to use my foaming blenders to blend out the inks, and I have all my little foams stored in this very convenient album, but yeah, these are the perfect size, and this is by Simple Stories. If I remember, I will link to this in the description box down below as well. So for now, I have linked some of the products that I knew I was going to use for sure, but of course I might change my mind as I go, which happens very often anyway. Hi Maurizio. And yeah, so at the end of the live stream, I will definitely go back in that description box there and add any missing product that I can remember. So hopefully I'll remember them all. Anyway, if you ever have questions, make sure to just leave them in the comments, and I always try and get back to everybody as quickly as possible. So there's that. The foam tools that I'm using here are by scrapbook.com, and they also work with the Ranger foams as well. My foams are a little bit well loved, so some of them are a little bit warped. Anyway, that's not relevant, and we can start doing our ink blending. And I'm going to start with some cracked pistachio at the bottom, sorry. I'm not going to go all the way down on the panel because I'm going to have my spooky fence and my hillside there. So actually this is already pretty low, because you see, basically, yeah, that's how much I need to actually blend, and that's the portion that will show through. So cracked pistachio. Next in line is peacock feathers, which, you know, this is kind of like my go-to ocean background blend, but I wanted to try it for a spooky sky, because I have seen several cards with these kind of teal skies, Halloween cards I mean, and they looked so cool, so I wanted to try it myself. Elaine from Pink and Peppermint Cards, I think recently shared a video with the Mama Elephant Little Mommy agenda and a sky background with the similar color combination, and I really loved it, so today I'm trying it too. If you don't know her, you should check her out, definitely. She's a really nice card maker, and I also really love her videos. Okay, so at the top I have chipped sapphire, and now I'm going to go back over the area just with a little bit of peacock feathers, because I want that teal to be the main shade of my sky. I just wanted the chipped sapphire to just darken up the sky a little bit, and then I'm also going to go in with just a tiny little bit of black soot. How are you guys? Make sure to comment, let me know what things are like for you, if you're doing all right, where you're watching from, because it's always so interesting to know where everybody's tuning in from. So For now, I am doing live streams every other week. So I decided to try this out. There was a poll on my YouTube channel in case you missed it, and most of the people said they would love to see live streams. So for now, I'm starting with every other Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. But I could also go a little bit later and definitely a little bit earlier, because for me now it is 7 p.m. So, you know, I could go live, say, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and that would be still fine. I wouldn't dare do it much later than that, because I might just fall asleep through the live stream, and that would be disgraceful. So but yeah, let me know if this is a time that works for you, if something else would be better. I'm happy to adjust the time and the schedule for my lives based on what works best for you. Mona says she loves the combo now, she needs cheap sapphire. Yes, it's really beautiful, and sorry not sorry, friend. Hi Susan, thanks for joining. Okay, so this is the sky. It turned out really nice, really nice. I shouldn't sound so surprised, but that's what it is. And let's see, let's do the following. I'm going to add a few glittery clouds. What do you think about glitter? I say yes to glitter anytime. So because I'm using stencils, I am going to bust out my make art station, which, if you don't know, well, definitely have a look. Again, I will have a link to this as well in the description box when the live is over, because I didn't add it before. But anyway, so this is great because it helps you hold your stencils in place, because it's basically a metallic surface with magnets, and there is a larger size and there is also a smaller size, and I can see that my camera is a little bit tilted, so hopefully I adjusted it in the wrong direction. Alright, so yes to glitter, yay! We have a vote in favor of glitter. Oh, there it is, you guys. I am partially prepared, not 100% prepared, but partially prepared. So the nice thing that you can get to go with your make art station is this handy craft sheet here, because this will protect the surface of your make art station from things like paste, glitter paste, which is what I'm going to use today, and so on. So you don't have to worry. Now, I would have to actually wash the stencil in principle right away, but I'll just use my distress sprayer and my microfiber cloth or some baby wipes to clean it off, because whenever you use pastes, you do want to rinse everything off immediately. So what I'm using today is Nouveau Glimmer paste in Moonstone, and this is, so it's clear and it's glitter, but it's also sold out, unfortunately, and it's sold out everywhere. So I'm not sure if they aren't producing it anymore. Actually, if you know about it, let me know. So in the description box down below, I will actually, instead of this product, link to an equivalent one or like a similar one by Thermoweb. So the glitter gel in the iridescent shade. And the cool thing about this type of pastes is that when you apply them on your distress oxides or your distress inks, they will reactivate the ink. So there will be a little bit of color change when when this has dried. If I was a good crafter and if I was a prepared crafter, now I would have my scrapbook.com scraper here with me, which I don't, because it's in the bathroom because I used it yesterday and I washed it and I didn't take it now with me. But that is very nice. It's just a tool that you use to scrape off all your paste from the stencil, and that has the, you know, the double effect that you basically do not waste pretty much any product because you pick it all back up, and also you are able to apply a very you know, homogeneous, a very even layer of whatever mixed media product you're using. Yes, Mona, I enabled Mona to get the, I think, Mona, you have the smaller make art station. These are great. Like the small one is really great, especially like I tend to reach out for that most often because it's quite compact, but it's still like the perfect size to go with for a card basically. So and it's a bit less space, but it is smaller than the craft sheet. And because today I was using pastes and I wanted to use the craft sheet, then that's what I did. So yeah, trying to pick it up, look at all the sparkle, and you know, even if it's not you know, spread perfectly, I don't know why I can't find my words today, I apologize for that, but even if it's not spread perfectly, it's still totally fine because this is a Halloween card, so any imperfection is just going to add to the spookiness. Now it's time for a little bit of cleanup because this is something that I really need to do now. So I'm going to spritz this with water, and this is just a baby wipe because anything else will be gunked up permanently, because this, you know, they're almost like glues, these kind of pastes. So I can, oops, clean up my station here, and with the craft sheet I don't have to worry too much at this stage because that is non-stick. So even if a little bit of my glimmer paste dries up on top of it, it won't be a problem. I will still be able to come back later and clean it up, but for the rest I really want to do a nice job of removing any excess paste at this point, especially on the stencil. All right, and okay, I guess you can see it already from the camera because it's a mess already, but around me there is even a bigger mess, so I will probably be losing products as I go. But if you follow my Facebook lives that I have every week on the Studio Katia Facebook page, you will know that by now. But you know, we make it up as we go. And most of the times I end up finding what I'm looking for, so it's fine. Anyway, so doing my cleanup here. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to spritz this with water and put it on the side, and hopefully the water will keep the paste moist enough by the time I'm done that I can just take this to my sink and wash it off, because I don't want to spend another 15 minutes trying to compulsively clean this thing, this stencil. All right. So fingers crossed for my stencil because it's one of my favorite ones, and we can move on now. The background is on the side and it's drying, and we can work on the images, which are super adorable, you guys. And by the way, if you didn't know, my second name in Italian is very similar to the word for fox, so I could not have this stamp set. And as always, I am going to regret right now not having the dies, because I'm going to have to fussy cut, which is alright, but you know, let's just say I prefer to color, let's put it this way. And speaking of coloring, today I am going to use my TriBlend alcohol markers by Spectrum Noir. These have been around for a while, but I have just added them to my collection of markers and I love them. So these have, compared to the ones that I usually use, which are the Illustrator alcohol markers, these ones here have a bullet nib, not a brush nib. So but So, you know, maybe if you prefer brush nibs, actually there are brush nib TriBlend markers now, but I haven't tried those yet. But anyway, point being is that I'm so used to brush nibs that I didn't think, I don't know, I didn't know how I would feel going back to bullet nibs. But these markers are really nice because you will see, you basically get 3 markers or 3 colors in one marker, which means you have to use 1/3 of the space, which for somebody who is as messy as I am is definitely a plus. And also the color blends are already, you know, thought out for you, so you don't have to wonder what markers to blend with, which is great if you are in a rush. If you are doing a live like I am, and you know, like sometimes your brain switches off, or if you're a beginner and you'd like to approach the world of alcohol markers but you're a little bit intimidated, this removes 1 layer of, you know, difficulty, if you will. So you'll see them in a minute, and there is also a video that I shared here on my channel, which is kind of introduction / review to these markers. Of course, I just put down a stain of ink on my cardstock exactly where my image is, but we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, so I was just saying there is this video there in case you want to know more about them, and I also have been using them on a couple of my tutorials lately, so you can see them in action, and you will see them in action today. So my cardstock shifted, and so even if my stamping is not perfect, I am not going to stamp again. And it's fine, it's fine. That ink, by the way, was alcohol-proof ink by Spectrum Noir, which, as the name says, works great with alcohol markers. And here you will see the markers in action. So the way this works is you have a light marker, a mid-tone marker, so it's an intermediate shade, and then the darker marker for your shadow. And so they're all in one marker only, and then the way in which they sort of suggest that you color is you coat the area with the lighter marker first, then you go in with the darkest marker. In this case I'm just going to basically go on the sides of the image, and then you use the mid-tone to blend it out. And because you have that first lighter shade already on the paper is kind of wet, and so it will help your markers to blend. And I find that this works very well. Also, you know, like not everybody prefers brush nibs because they can be a little bit harder to control, so this is definitely an alternative to that, which is wonderful. Hello Lucky Mama, thanks for joining and welcome. Oh, let's do the beaks as well with the same burnt orange color combination, and in this case I'm just going to use the light and the dark marker because the areas are so tiny, so I don't need to use 3 markers. So for my foxes instead, I'm going to use this tan blend. Yes, let's start with this. So again, like I showed earlier, I start with my lighter color and I just apply it over the entire area, and then going from the sides towards the center with the darkest marker, and then blend everything with the midtones. And if you wanted more contrast, so the thing is, these markers are available in sets and individually. There are 2 sets of 24 markers, so 2 sets of 24 markers, and each set has 3 color per marker. So anyway, I cannot do the math right away, but it's a lot of colors. Is what I'm trying to say. There is quite a big selection of colors. And the 2 sets of 24 are called shades and blends. The blends are lighter colors, And if you want the darker version of those colors, you can get the shades. So this was the tan blend, but there is also a tan shade which I could use if I wanted a little bit more contrast in the image. So just to show you, I could add a little bit of the lighter marker in my tan shade set here, and I would get more contrast. So I'm not gonna do it for the other images, for the other foxes, because it's not necessary. I already have as much contrast as I want, but I just wanted to show this to you and to explain it, because I don't know, maybe it's confusing at first when you see the boxes and you don't know what to get. If you are going to get one of the two, I would start with the shades, not with the, sorry, I would start with the blends. So with the blends, not with the shades. Oh, thanks, Lucky Mama. You use the markers too. Yes, they're kind of new to me. I have been using them for just a few weeks, but I'm really loving them. And of course I do love my Illustrator markers, but as I said, these are very convenient because you don't have to like think about your color blends. You basically need 1/3 of the area on your desk as you're coloring. So I'm very happy that I got them. I'm now using some warm grays for the muzzle here of the fox to add a little bit of shading, and then I'm blending everything out towards the highlights with my blender, with my colorless blender, and I'm going to color the rest of the foxes like this. And I do hope that this isn't too much coloring, but you know, with lawn fawn I can never stop adding critters, you guys. And yeah, like if you're looking for inspiration with the latest lawn fawn release, I did share 2 videos here on my channel. Hi Elena. Last week, one is a fall card with the Let's Go Nuts stamp set, and it's an interactive card, so it's a lot of fun. And the other one is a Christmas card, which is more like a clean and simple card, but with a lot of subtle texture on it, which I think also turned out very pretty. And yeah, so if you want to check them out, you can find them on my channel. So Lucky Mama says she also has the illustrators. Yes, she loves to color hair with them. Yes, they are great with the brush nibs. You really get that fine flicking motions. Really, they're much more, you know, fine detailed. So I really love my illustrators too. Yes, they have brush TriBlends, that's correct, but I haven't tried them yet. I have placed an order and I did get one set of them, one set of 6 for now, because I wanted to try them out. I wanted to compare them to the TriBlends, but it is not at all excluded that I will order those as well. Because you guys, I'm a coloring maniac, I'm a coloring freak. I just love coloring. I want to try all the markers, all the coloring mediums. I do tend to basically always go back to my Illustrator markers, but I gotta have them all and I gotta try them all. So yes, we shall see. And definitely I wanted to you know, to try them out and add sort of like a second review on my channel, considering that I have the review for the traditional TriBlend. I thought it may be nice to have the one for the brush ones. Lucky Mama, your English is not bad at all, and you're from Germany. Oh, you tried the brush TriBlends. That's nice. You love them. Okay, okay, I can't wait. I'm even more eager to try them now that you say that. And I have lived in Germany for almost 10 years. Okay, not like from 2011 for 7 years. Wow, it is almost 10. So yeah, lots of memories. Okay, so our third fox is colored in, at least the fur is. And now we can move on to the faces. So I'm using the mid-tone marker from the warm grays the brown gray blend, which are warm grays. And again, I'm going on the outside of the faces. So I'm doing some very easy shading today. I'm not doing any particular light source or anything. I'm not having like a ton of contrast. So it's like soft and easy shading, 2 or 3 markers. All right. And definitely let me know if you thought that, you know, the amount of coloring at the end of the video, you feel like it's too much and you'd like to see a bit less coloring for the next live, which will be in 2 weeks, just reminder. Because if it's up to me, I can just sit here and color for 3 hours straight, but maybe, you know, that's not what you like to see. So these are the citrus blend, and between the mid-tone and the highlights there isn't a huge difference, so I'm not getting a lot of contrast, but that is true also with my Illustrator markers. So whenever I use these kind of yellows, did I say citrus green? Anyway, whenever I use these yellows, I always use a little bit of burnt orange to add my shading, because that gives that nice depth and contrast. So to add some nice shading to yellow, I would say either use an orange, like a desaturated orange, or a brown, or a warm brown. All right, so I'm going to need a little bit more yellow here for the bee. This is so adorable, you guys. Like, when I saw this stamp set, of course I thought it was adorable, but let's say it wasn't the first one I put in my cart, let's put it this way. But when I got it in my hands, oh my, it's so adorable, it's so cute. And this will really work great with the, oh, what is it called? The Magic Picture Changer die. Oh, thanks, Alicia. TriBlend, not TriBlend. Thank you. Sorry. Thanks for letting me know. So here I'm adding a little bit of teal to the wings, and I'm going to blend it out with my colorless blender. Now I have to get TriBlends out of my head, and I have to wire my brain to think TriBlends. All right, that's enough for that. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of teal to just add some shading to the little chick here, which is dressed up as a ghost. Now, when I picked out my markers, I forgot to take out the dark version of the ice grays. So I'm going to use Illustrator markers for this, but it doesn't matter. You can just use the ice gray shade set of TriBlend markers. Okay, so this would be IG8 Illustrator markers, and I guess this way you see them both in action in case you're not familiar with them. You see the difference. These have a brush nib, and then they have like a precision nib on the other end, and it's just one color per marker. So these are the more, let's say, traditional markers. This was IG6, and then we have IG4. And the brush nibs of these markers feel so nice though. Lucky Mama, would you say that the brush nibs on the TriBlend brush markers feel like the Illustrator ones, or do they feel different? Because I'm curious about that. So frosting on the donut, for me it is default pink, and so will be the frosting on the cupcake here. I don't know why, but whenever I see a donut I immediately think about pink frosting. Alicia, yes, I am Italian, and if I am not saying your name right, please correct me about that too, because I'd be very sorry it is like, so like Imama is saying that the brush nib TriBlend markers have the same brush nibs as the Illustrator markers, which would be fantastic. It would be, oh, now I'm even more excited, you guys. Hopefully, so if everything goes to plan and there aren't shipping delays and, you know, delivery issues, they should be there. They should be here in the next couple of days. So that is something to look forward to for me. And I think I did reply, and yes, I am Italian. I am Italian. Has any of you ever been to Italy? Okay, these were again the tan markers that I used for the foxes. And then we said the frosting on the cupcake will be pink. And this is the magenta blend. Again, starting with that lighter shade, and then I'm going to add the shadows while the paper is still kind of saturated with my light marker. I'm just going around the image. I'm not worrying too much about the coloring today. I just want to add some quick shading and dimension to these images, so we can move forward and move on. I do want a little bit of green because, I mean, it is a Halloween card after all. So we have the orange, we have pink, which will count as purple, and so I'm going to add some green here on the base of the cupcake. These are the citrus greens. Where else can I add green? To the little sprinkles here, although I was going to go for teal, but okay, let's say that's it. I'm also going to color the cherry with my magenta colors, just not to add another, with my magenta markers, just not to add another color in the color palette, so that we keep things simple and as quick as possible. And then a little bit of warm grays here to shade the whipped cream, I suppose that is, and on these sprinkles here I am instead going to add some teal. All right, and again I am adding some shading, but I'm just going with the lighter marker and the darker one, so I'm skipping the mid-tone in this case because there are such tiny areas that it is not necessary. And then before I go on and start cutting the images, I'm just going to add some rosy cheeks with my Fair Skin blend, and I'm going to start with the lighter one near the eyes, and then I'm going to add the darker one at the center, basically. And it's so cute. So who got anything from the Lawn Fund release, or what were your favorite sets? What's on your wish list? Let me know. Like, my wish list was much longer than my shopping list, but I still did get some nice sets which I was very excited to play with. I was very happy that this time around I actually managed to play with, well, now it's 3 stamp sets from the ones that I bought within 10 days of buying them. So, you know, it's pretty good for me anyway. I forgot to color in the inside of the ears, so I'm taking again this Fair Skin blend, and again I'm going to do 2 marker shading. So if you like a lot of contrast in your images, I would say get both the shades and the blends, because then you can really darken up your shadows. If you like this softer kind of look, then the blends are already more than sufficient, and anyway they are a very good starting point. I just wanted to bring this up to the camera so that you could hopefully see them from up close before I cut everything. Next time I'll make sure that I have my images cut out already before the coloring and before the live stream. I wanted to do it for this week too, but you know, unfortunately I did not manage to do that because I was doing other things and I just couldn't find enough time. So sorry that you'll have to sit through me fussy cutting. If it's something that it's really, you know, boring to see, please let me know, because then I will definitely make sure that it's not it's not happening in the next lives ever again. So Lucky Mama got the snow globe scenes. I didn't get that one, but it's really pretty. The cooking mice, yes, those are adorable, and that's the set I used on my Christmas card that came out on Saturday. So that's the video I was telling you about earlier, with the sort of clean and simple card but with lots of texture. What else? The mountain scenes and the Halloween foxes. Yay! No, I didn't get the mountain scenes. I got the Halloween foxes, so this set here. I got the mice. I got the squirrels because they were so adorable, and I wish, you know, I really loved the die set with the trees, but I didn't get it. I got mostly stamps and I got the stencils. But you know, they're still in the coming soon section on scrapbook.com, for example, because like Lawn Font sells out so fast. But they're still like on the coming soon section, so you know, there is always time for a second round of shopping, I guess. Yeah, Mona, I can't wait for you to get your set and to see what you make, because if you guys don't know Mona, she's amazing. She's one of the most talented crafters I know, and you definitely should check out her Instagram, her YouTube channel, because she is really fantastic. So I will link to them in the description box down below when the live is over, so definitely go say hi to her. Oh, Lucky Mama. Well, I'm not lying, and Lucky Mama can testify too. She follows you, Mona, on Instagram. So thank you, Shini. All right. Sweet Mona. Yes, so the scissors, coming back to the card a little bit, the scissors that I'm using a little bit poorly are the Cutter Bee scissors by EK Success, which are my go-to at the moment. Super sharp, super fine tip. I used to really dislike fussy cutting, mostly because I had some problems with my hands and I would get fatigued very quickly, and when scissors aren't sharp, you can get pain fairly quickly. But so I was always trying to avoid fussy cutting at all costs, and then, you know, just by watching YouTube videos, I came across this and I heard everybody talking, you know, so well about them, that they're so great and etc. So I was like, okay, let's try them. And I mean, like, it's just another universe between this and the, you know, kind of generic ones I had before trying these ones. Like, I don't get fatigued. Maybe, you know, fussy cutting is still not my favorite thing to do, but again, I don't get any pain whatsoever, and they are much easier to use, and also you can get into you know, sort of the nooks and crannies of the more detailed images much faster. To get a precise cut, I often repeat this on videos, but I'll say it here as well. You can see that I'm not moving the hand where I hold my scissors, which is my dominant hand, but I hold the scissors straight and I just basically close them while I move the paper with my left hand. So that makes for a more precise cut. Now I'm trying to go a little bit faster than I normally would, just because I feel bad that you have to sit through all this fussy cutting. But yeah, just take your time. and it's going to be fine. And you know, in the end, like especially if you have a lot of elements on your card, even if it's not super precise, it won't matter. But if you don't like fussy cutting, I will add, because I don't think they are there, a link to the coordinating dice too, so that you have the option if you're interested. And I just wanted to hey, Candy's Crafty Ventures, welcome and thanks for joining, and thank you for your nice words. Just for whoever may have tuned in a little bit later, I just wanted to let you know that there are a couple of sales right now and that they are linked in the description box. I will show you later one of the products that is on sale and that I use on this card, and the rest is like pretty much a massive autumn clearance. But there, I mean, I saw a lot of, for example, I saw the Fawn Cloud Shaker frame die, I think that's called. So there aren't just products that you can only use for autumn. And I saw quite a few Fawn products there. So, you know, links in description if you are curious and feel like a little bit more crafty shopping. Oh, Nancy, hi! I didn't realize, because I'm watching, now that I look at the picture, because I'm looking at the comments, I'm reading the comments from my phone, which is far away and very small, so I didn't recognize you in the picture. Thanks for joining, my friend. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Okay, so we're almost there with the fussy cutting, I promise. But look how adorable. Come on, it was worth the coloring and the cutting, wasn't it? Are you a fan of cutting, or is it something you guys don't really enjoy? Because I know for some people it's like super relaxing and they just love to sit on the sofa, watch a movie and cut images. But yeah, so let me know, I'm curious. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you could pop in too, Nancy. Okay, last two. Let's see how quickly we can go. It's like a challenge, you know, this YouTube challenge videos. How many images I can fussy cut in 5 minutes. Well, there are these card making challenges, you know, like make a card in 5 minutes, but I mean, I know that I would fail like without even trying, because I don't do well with how do you say, with clean and simple cards or with cards with few elements. Like I cannot stop. I can never stop. So these 5 minutes cards, I mean, like, I'm not saying they are beautiful, like some, actually I think clean and simple is probably the most difficult thing to do and some of them are, you know, are genius, but I just can't. So yeah, probably I will not do a 5-minute card making challenge, or maybe I should, because, you know, it means I will learn something. Oh, Nancy says she fussy cuts all the time. Mona is a fussy cut maniac. No, I'm not. Definitely not. All right, so this is the background, and I don't think I can say that the paste is dry at this point, but we will continue and pretend that's not true. Oh, but look at this, you guys. So pretty with those glittery clouds. I'm loving this. And you know what? I think I will just... Should I add the silver everywhere, or should I go for white? For white pigment ink on the rest of the background. What do you guys think? Let me know. Anyway, while I wait for a second for you to pick your favorite option. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my sentiments. So let's see, we need some black cardstock. Hope you don't mind the noise of bags and things like that. We need some double-sided adhesive sheets. Oh, this fence, this spooky fence is really cute, and it's also pretty easy to extend. A couple of years ago, I think it was, I made a slimline card when they still didn't have a name, a Halloween one with some stamps by Impronte Daubers, and it was in landscape orientation, and so I was able to do some partial die cutting and extend these fairly easily. And you know, maybe you just put an image at the junction if it's not perfect, but it worked out pretty well, just FYI. Okay, so double-sided adhesive sheets are a great thing when you are going to deal with fine die cuts, which is what I'm going to do today, because I'm going to use this alphabet die set. And this, you guys, is beautiful. I love it, and I think it's 50% off on scrapbook.com today. So you get the lowercase and the uppercase letters, and I think it's really great. So I don't need to coat the whole thing. I'm going to use the uppercase letters, so I'm kind of measuring how much I need. And then I don't want to open the packaging, it's so pretty. It is so beautiful with the rainbow border, and I always just butcher stamp packaging, you guys. I'm terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Oh yes, Mona, this alpha set is beautiful. I can see myself using it over and over, and I can't wait to see more inspiration with it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the word boo out of this. Initially I thought I'd do trick or treat, but then, you know, guys, I'll be die cutting for 15 minutes. Or even longer, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do boo, and then I'm going to have trick or treat or happy Halloween. I'll see. Hit embossed from the stamp set, so the fox costumes before and after. Okay, so this has an end that lifts pretty easily if my hands collaborate tonight, which they refuse to. Ah, okay, there we go. Okay, so you basically peel off this sort of craft side to expose the adhesive. You put down your cardstock, sort of press down a little bit, and then you can cut off the excess. And this is really, really nice and useful. Like 90% of the times I forget to use it, but it basically turns anything into a sticker, which makes all the gluing very easy, especially when you deal with like super thin dies and die cuts like the ones that I'm using today. So I am going to grab my little Gemini mini machine, and I can run both of them at once. Just I'm going to secure them with some mint tape, which is a low tack tape, which I have been trying out for a couple of days now, and I'm really loving, because it tears like paper, as easily as paper, but it has some sort of coating, so I think it will be somewhat water resistant too. And it's mint. What's not to love about mint? So yeah, I'm really liking it, and the nice thing is that it's low tack, so it will not tear your paper, but I have been able to use it multiple times, so a little bit like purple tape. My Gemini Mini doesn't want to die cut, so I'm just going to move here for a second. There we go. So sorry, I just think I put them too close, and because the plates are a little bit warped, it didn't want to go through. So anyway, here's our thin letters. And so I was saying about the mint tape that the nice thing is that you can reuse it a little bit like purple tape. So it won't lose its tack completely just the first time you you run it through your die cutting machine. Oops, my hands are not collaborating. So let's get this die cut out. The release paper already stayed here. Okay, and then I can cut the second word, the second letter, sorry. Just real quick. And there we go. And then we can hit emboss the rest of the sentiment. And I'm thinking I'll do the following. I will hit emboss the greeting. What do you say, on black or on teal? No, I'll do it on teal. I'll do the following. I will take some watercolor cardstock and I will heat emboss my sentiment with white embossing powder, and then I will do some emboss resist blending using the same colors I have on the background, because probably I will put the banner somewhere down here. Let's see how we can do this. And this is something that I always do, you know, I just play around with my images and try and see how I can arrange them kind of like this, and then I can have the banner here. Okay, done. So I always play with my images and see how I can arrange them on my card so that I have an idea before I go ahead and finish everything. So we said watercolor cardstock, check. Mini Misty, check. I'm taking my Mini Misty just because the what you might call it, sorry, I was reading the comments. I'm taking the Mini Misty because I have the stamps in my larger Misty, so I didn't want to deal with that, so I'm taking this because I have it. So Nancy, what I used was Nouveau Glimmer paste in Moonstone, but yes, I will link to the Thermoweb one instead, because this one is sold out everywhere, and I don't know if it's out of production or what's going on, or if it's just, you know, so popular that it's always sold out. But because I think it's very similar to the Thermoweb one, and yeah, I think that's great quality too, I will link to that instead. I cannot find my anti-static powder too, which is sad, but we'll have to deal with that. So I'm going to do some heat embossing now, and I chose the Trick or Treat sentiment. Finger crossed, you guys, that I don't have any like fingerprints on my cardstock, and that the heat embossing works well. If not, we'll go with it, and when the live is over, I'll do it again so that I can correct it and put a better result in the thumbnail picture. All right, so as I said, this is the one that reads Trick or Treat. And there's a ton of banner dies by Fawn that I could have used, but now they're far away from me, so I'll just trim this with my trimmer. Let's see. So I'm going to use fine embossing powder by Ranger, sorry. Lucky Mama, yes, I have both sizes of Misty. I got the small one first because you know, I do card making mostly, and I just felt it was a good size for what I needed. But then I also got the big one because it works great with like background stamps or larger stamps. So yeah, excuse me for a second while I have to turn on my heat embossing machine, which is unplugged. Oh man. There we go. This is a fun part of going live. Nothing is under control 100%. Bye Mona, thanks for joining me. Big hugs. Alright, so that's it, and then I am going to just do some ink blending here, basically with peacock feathers, black soot. I skipped the cracked pistachio, but I can just go over it a little bit. Chipped sapphire. I'm basically creating the same kind of ombre effect that I have on the background, just trying to replicate that a little bit on my banner. Then I'm going to use my microfiber cloth to just remove the excess ink here. This doesn't look quite as nice and vibrant. Why? Okay. I'm just gonna grab my trimmer by Tonic Studio so I can trim the sentiments, and then we can put the card together and we will be done. This trimmer is my absolute favorite. I've tried many of them and I like this and the larger one, so I really like this guillotine type of trimmers. I find they're really sharp, precise, you don't have to put too much pressure, and etc, etc. So I really love it. I was trying to see if I could do some more ink blending on this, but it's fine, it will be fine. Alrighty, so let's say that this is now dry. I am going to just, you know, add a little bit of more silver here. I don't know if you guys said anything in the comments, because I asked earlier if you thought I should add some more or not. I may have missed your responses, but if so, apologies. But at this point I think I'll just go for it because I think it looks really cool. I know that there is like a specific name for the effect this has on black cardstock, which I cannot remember right now, but if you, I mean, you surely are familiar with Tim Oates' work and this kind of grungy metallic, I don't know, is it varnished? No, it's not varnished. Anyway, burnished maybe. It's beautiful. You really need to try silver pigment ink on black cardstock. And then let me know if you agree with me. Just a little bit on the trees. So we had a little bit of shine and a little bit of shading too, which is going to bring some depth to the scene, so we can now start layering everything. And you know what? I'm going to try my new tacky glue, if I can find it. No, never mind. Never mind, let's use some tape instead. It's such a mess here. Such a mess. Scrapbook.com 3/4 of an inch wide tape, which I didn't put on purpose all the way up to the edge of this die cut because I want a little bit of room to tuck in my critters. Going to line these two up as best as I can, and of course you guys, if you wanted to, you could add some dimension. Oh my god, I really love this. I know, like, you know, it's my garden, I shouldn't be going, or like, oh, this is beautiful, but I really love this color combination. So you could also use some foam tape to add dimension to the card. And I think I forgot what I was saying, but we'll pretend that never happened. Okay, and by the way, you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's really great to think that you are spending your time here with me while I craft live, and it's such a wonderful thing. I have been doing live streams, as I was mentioning earlier, on the Studio Katia Facebook page, and they were so fun and enjoyable, and they were such a great way to connect that I thought, you know, I have to do them on my channel too. It's just so nice. So it's varnish. Oh, thanks, Alicia. I'm glad I got your name right. Oh no, I wasn't trying to say varnish, I was trying to say burnish with B-U, but I guess that's not that. It's varnish. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I am opening this craft glue, which, as you can see, I haven't tried yet before, and this is, so I really want to try this with foiling, because apparently when you leave this to dry, it stays tacky, and you can then apply foil on top, which, you know, pretty, shiny, and also without heat. I mean, you can do it with the laminator, but you don't have to. Alicia, it was my bad. It's my pronunciation, which is not 100% accurate. Anyway, so yeah, I was saying this stays tacky, so you can add foil to your projects very easily. And I'm going to add a tiny dab here. No, I'm gonna leave the trees as they are. Okay, let's focus on the images, and I'm getting a little bit. What if I add one here, like it's flying? No, I'm getting a little bit too sidetracked with the chatting and everything, so apologies. So I'm going to do the following. I'm first going to adhere the sentiment banner. Let's do it like this. Oh wow, this is a really nice flow, so you don't need to push or anything. It comes out really nicely. trick or treat. Then I'm going to do it like this. Yes, one fox to the left, a little bit at an angle, and one to the right. Like this. Oh, this is turning out so cute. I like it. Then one at the top. Sort of like this. I'm trying to tuck it behind a little bit, but so that the fence is not in its face, but I leave it like this. And then we have a few little cheeks here to add. Let's see. One is gonna go here, I think. And as I said, I think this will be so much fun with the magic picture changer die. Is that it? Is that enough images? Just this one, just the one. Back here, like this. Let's say like if it's walking on the fence. I will stop fidgeting with it. And then the last thing is to actually add the sentiment, the die cut part of it anyway. So, and I'm not going to try and adhere it straight. I am going to have it sort of like where is the center of the card? Here, like this, like this, like so. Here it's a little bit slanted that way, and for the B I'm going to incline it the other way so that we don't have to struggle with getting it straight and, you know, T-square rulers and all that, which is fine and you can definitely do that, but I feel like I've fidgeted enough for this live. So that's it. I think that's where I will stop. Like, of course, now I'm tempted to add glossy accents, glitter, white gel pen and whatnot, because you know that I love my finishing touches, but I think we will keep it at this for this week's live. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I was reading Nancy. She hasn't been brave enough to graph live. It's fun, you should try it, and if you do, like, I'll definitely come and cheer for you and tune in and keep you company. And you can see, like, you know, I don't know, I am not perfect by any means, but it's fun, and I hope it's fun for you guys too. So if it was, you can join me again in 2 weeks on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be creating another card live. All the supplies are listed and linked in the description box down below if you're interested, and don't forget to check out the sales there, because there is a sale on the scrapbook.com exclusives, which includes, for example, the mint tape that I showed, this beautiful alphabet die set, this tacky glue that, as I said, you can use with foiling as well. So there's a lot of great essentials there. And also, as I was mentioning, there is a clearance sale, a fall clearance sale with items up to 90% off. Some of these items on sale are by Fawn, by the way, so check that out in the description box down below. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. It was great fun, and I will catch you guys soon. Big hugs. Bye.